Hi. Today is my first adventure. Let's go. My name is Marcus Welsh and I use books, articles, websites and your emails to investigate, discuss and go on adventures. So I've come to England, well I live here, but I've come to England to have a look at something very classic and iconic.
This website here, icons.org.uk, did a vote of the British icons. And I think I'm going to investigate each one. I decided to start with the red telephone box. Reason being I could have a mini adventure within lockdown guidelines.
Let's have a look at some of the history, shall we? Shall we do that?
The red telephone box started life like this. Here is model K1, built in 1921. Two current examples exist, one in Hull. We will come back to Hull later, actually, and that's not something people say very often, I'm joking, and one in the Isle of Wight. And both are grade 2 listed by Historic England. When a building, or in this case a phone box, is listed, it means it can't be demolished, altered or extended without permission. Whoa. Grade 1 means a building of exceptional interest. For example, Tower Bridge. It's still happening. Grade 2 means a building of particularly important interest. For example, Battersea Power Station. And Grade 3 is a building of special interest. Really painful. For example, Abbey Road Studios. And Grade 4 means Overgregs and Powlands. A competition to design the K2 model was won by Giles Gilbert Scott. Unfortunately, he beat out my entry by a single vote. Erected in 1926, made from cast iron, the telephone box became a national design icon. More models followed, designed by Scott or around Scott's design. And then they arrived at the K6, the one we all think about when we picture the red telephone box. Designed to commemorate the Silver Jubilee of George V, hence its nickname, Jubilee.
So why are these designs so iconic? I don't know what it is really. I grew up with these around in great number. It was around the time the new box had been introduced and they hadn't really started replacing these yet, but more on that later. I think the first thing that stands out is how much is here just to make a phone call. It's like the phone call equivalent of a golden toilet.
It's ornate, luxurious, elegant. It looks heavy, well engineered, and designed not just to be a place to make a phone call, but a place to be. It's like entering a grand, private palace. It's got the ring of classic British engineering about it. I mean, only the Brits would design the shit out of a telephone box and stick a crown on top of it. It lives on in classic pop culture, becoming a celebrity in its own right. The bright red takes your eye every time. It lights up every location it's in. It steals the show as the grey concrete and rubble dull into insignificance in the background. Some people also believe these to be time portals. Here is a police phone box you might recognise from Doctor Who. Doctor Who travels through time in this box, walks around with a screwdriver and gets attacked by lots of plastic washing up bottles and toilet roll tubes. I've never seen it, sorry.
So there are many variations throughout the country.
Travelling?
Yeah.
When was the last time you went travelling?
I travel, boy. Travel.
Where have you been travelling?
Hull.
The boxes there are white or cream. This is because the telephone network was run in Hull itself, by the Hull Telephone Department. They chose cream because, and I quote, "cream's well nice." I've seen green telephone boxes before, somewhere down on the south coast, so that's a thing. Also, check out this artwork in Kingston. This is called Out of Order by the artist David Mack. And look at these examples of the iconic design around the world. In fact, here's a map. If you're from anywhere but the UK and you are near one of these, in fact even if you're from the UK and you're near a particularly nice example, I want to see your pictures. There's a link to this map below so you can find your nearest. red telephone box.
It's absolutely disgusting. So what happened to the iconic telephone box?
In 1984, British Telecom was privatised, and from 1985 a new design was introduced. BT knew they needed to keep costs down, improve access and ventilation as well as keeping them low maintenance. But still, they had an opportunity to take an icon of early 20th century British design and modernise it. Make it the British icon of the 1980s. Are you ready to see what they came up with? An accurate monument to Thatcherism, this grey dullard started to replace the red boxes all across the country. Naturally, it was met with uproar. Local authorities started to legislate to keep or list the classic phone boxes, but many disappeared, especially in the big cities.
I'm in a box now that's been converted into a defibrillator. Defibrillator? Some have become libraries, or some have just been decked in all flowers. People are looking after these things. People are adopting them. There's a real sense of British pride with these.
The whole point of this series is to bring some patriotism back in a time of tension and growing nationalism. Well, a nationalism that's been allowed to make itself more obvious, let's say. And by patriotism I mean a devotion to a particular place and way of life, which one believes to have great elements, but has no wish to force it on other people. It can be shared by everyone. And I believe patriotism starts with recognition of great things and culture we can all be a part of. In Brookwood, Surrey, the town all got together to restore their only K6 model. One of the villagers said something I think sums it all up. The true icon is not the box itself, however beautiful it may be. It's the pride we feel in getting together as a community and restoring life to something seen as dead or useless, bringing back the soul of British design and preserving it for generations to come, to revel in its majesty. A villager didn't really say that, I made it up. He said something really boring, but it's my video, so... See you next week.